Sunrisers Hyderabad bow out. Let's just look back at their season, becoming the first team to sneak into the playoffs. Good to see results going their way on the final day in spite of registering just the 6 wins and 12 points. And we picked 3 points that we think sum up the season review for Kane Williamson / Bhuvaneshwar Kumar / Tom Moody, whoever you want to call the leadership group of this team. And the middle orders where we start. We'll dig out the numbers as well. And as far as the poorest average goes, one of the poorest strike rates other than Chennai, which is perhaps down to where they play, but just 577 runs. And is that the first area of concern when you start looking back at Hyderabad? Think, okay, we've got Huda, we've got Vijay Shankar who we tried, and Manish Pandey there, and they moved him. Yusuf Pathan, we will relook that.
I wouldn't relook that. It's just that I don't think the personnel are wrong.
Okay.
It's just that collectively they've not had the kind of season which you want. Given the start of the season, would somebody have said that Johnny Bairstow and David Warner would forge this kind of a partnership? Possibly no, but things happen. And so is the case with people like Chennai, where the Kedar Jadhavs and the Ambati Raidus are not bad players. It's just that collectively they're not having a great run. So it's not about changing them. It's about the fact that possibly next year they'll have a better run. Manish Pandey turned it around. Deepak Huda is good enough to turn it around. Vijay Shankar, as I said, before the World Cup team was announced, possibly he didn't expect anything. And then once your place is questioned and so many people are writing about the fact that whether you should be there or should not be there, I don't know whether that got to him and he changed. So collectively they didn't go well. And also you look at their bowling front, they were the highest wicket takers last year, and then the same set of bowlers couldn't get wickets. So it's a combination of all that.
We're coming to the bowling in a bit, but
sorry.
Dan, do you agree?
Sorry.
No problem. You've touched it up well. But you feel the same as in my experience of looking at some franchises, when they see issues, they look to change, and when they change, they usually mean change in personnel. Do you agree with Kartik that the personnel are still good enough, or do you think they need to look at some new faces?
100% agree. I think that you can't find too much better than that, and they have been successful in the IPL at times. Manish Pandey, Huda, Yusuf Pathan, always been very successful at times. So I think that they shouldn't look to change too much there. I think in a lot of ways it was irrelevant how their middle order went. I don't think they lost in too many games. It was more celebrating how well the openers did, and because of how well they did, that middle order probably got less and less opportunities. And I know it was Bairstow and Warner at the start. Sahe came in a little bit at the end. Williamson, who was batting a little bit lower, but I think they should be happy with obviously how Warner and Bairstow did, and not be concerned with that middle order, because I don't think it contributed to their season of only winning 6 games.
Okay, maybe then the bigger point is, like Kartik has teased up already, the bowling. Because this is a team that we've said time and time again that defended par to even below par scores last year and got Sunrisers an extra 4 to 6 points easy in the group stage. But that didn't quite happen this time. If we just look at the difference in the numbers, just economy rates of players, we're looking at Sid Kaul, who was much better, 8.28 and 8.96, maybe not as much, but the average, so did get more wickets last year. Khalil Ahmed, who didn't feature much in 2018, has been improved. But Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, we're looking at similar numbers. Sandeep Sharma is another one that perhaps has gone a bit more expensive. And Billy Stanley's not even got a game. He impressed in the early parts of last season. Why is it that this bowling attack that was so potent last time didn't have the teeth this time?
Inability to get wickets. And I think sometimes what happens is that even if one is going for runs, the fact that someone else can take a wicket helps him in coming back and readdressing his spell or analysis. You can work that way, but collectively they couldn't get wickets. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar plays a big role because he's somebody who's seen to take wickets early on in the innings. He didn't start well in the tournament. It took him 5 or 6 games before he found his length, he found his rhythm. He found his rhythm to be economical and bowl well, but he couldn't get wickets. And that's one of the reasons why people will always say Rashid Khan didn't get wickets, because of the fact that all that the teams need to do once the others are going for runs is play him safe. There was a game when they got 212 or whatever, and then when they had to go after him, he got wickets. And that's the way the format sometimes goes. You don't have silly point and short leg that you price open a wicket. You sometimes have to go after a bowler, and that's where his skill shines through. And that's one of the reasons why on a collective basis I don't think they had a good season in terms of wicket taking.
I like that you've teased this point up as well. So let's bring it in, because Rashid Khan can't be spoken of in isolation. The bowlers not doing as much of a job as last year, and Rashid Khan who was economical but didn't get enough wickets. Now you think if teams start playing Rashid Khan out better than the way they do against Sunil Narayan or another best bowler, that the others have a better chance of getting wickets because they're going to go after them. But that didn't happen. So what was it? Was it just a dip in quality? It was the same set of bowlers bowling pretty much the same way.
I wish I had bad seasons like Rashid Khan's bad seasons, sort of 16 wickets at 6.5. So I think it's unfair to really put on him. I think it is a collective, and I think the one thing, and it's probably happened the last 2 seasons, is Bhuvanesh not taking as many wickets in that power play, and so that changes the fortunes of the rest of the bowlers because they're used to bowling to new batsmen, or they're able to attack as opposed to bowling to set batsmen. So it's not a bad year, but I think they've set their standards so high. Bhuvanesh Kumar's been probably arguably the best seam bowler in the IPL over the last 5 or 6 years, and then they've just handed on to Rashid Khan and whoever else is in that bowling attack, because when Siddharth Kaul doesn't have a great season, or Sandeep Sharma, who wasn't too bad, and then Khalil comes in and does a great job. Rashid's pretty strong with what he's doing. Mohammad Nabi is pretty good as well. So, look, I don't think we can be too critical. It's just the wickets, like Kartik said. That's probably the only thing.
And just look at Rashid Khan's numbers, and Dan's making the point. He doesn't mind having a bad season like this, where you're going at an economy of 6.28, you've got 17 wickets, and you're at an average of 22.
Look at that. That's so consistent.
Yeah, we tend to feel like he's not had as many, but he did go about 6 or 7 games with just the 1 wicket. I mean, we're used to such higher standards from Rashid Khan that maybe we felt that he wasn't getting.
I would love all those years.
Yeah, 3 or 4 wickets, and therefore it's happened. So, point well taken. Maybe this has looked more like a critical post-mortem of Sunrisers season. But let's say it's a non-World Cup year, and David Warner and Johnny Bairstow don't leave, and for all you know, that none of this even becomes a talking point. So that's our brief review of the Sunrisers Hyderabad this season.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.